Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Crazy for You podcast. I'm so glad you could be here. And tonight I'm excited because we are going to be talking about gift knitting. I don't know if you had a chance to read the newsletter, but I talked a little bit about making gifts for other people. And I know, if you're a knitter, you've probably made something for someone that you care about. And it's a really, really special feeling. So, a lot of really good knitters start very early, but I am not among them. I am a huge procrastinator. As those of you who know and love me know, I am overly optimistic about how much I can get done in a given amount of time. And I guess that's why my husband always calls me his late wife. But anyway, so as I was saying on Tuesday at our lunchtime lesson, it's pretty easy to figure out and be kind of proactive and realistic about how long it's going to take you to knit something. So I did that. And if you didn't have a chance to see, it's kind of fun. I took and I measured out a yard of yarn, and then I timed myself to see how long it would take me to knit that yard of yarn. And I was just on, a worsted weight yarn. Turns out it took me 2 minutes in stockinette to knit a yard of worsted weight yarn. And I was feeling kind of bad about myself. And then after the live was over, I went into the shop, and Ginny, who is, the paragon of knitting, knower of all things, said that she had done the same thing after I had said that, and that it had been the same, that she also took 2 minutes to knit a yard of yarn. So I felt a little better about myself after that. Not that it's a competition or anything, but you want to know that you're not like crazy slow or whatever. So that got us started talking about how long it took her to knit the hat. And that's one of the things that I want to show you tonight. So tonight is all about some projects that you still have time to knit for the holidays. We are at this point 44 days away from Hanukkah and 60 or 58 days away from Christmas. So there's quite a lot of knitting time available in there, depending on a lot of things, what you choose, what size yarn, how many things, whether you work full time, whether you like to stay up late, whether you actually need to sleep and eat and all those other unnecessary things. But anyway, so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So let me take a minute and see who has joined us. All right. Buona tarda, Antonella. Lovely to see you from Naples, Italy, I believe. What a pleasure. Thank you so much. È un piacere. And Terry, yes, excellent. Okay, so Antonella is 1 o'clock in Naples. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Amelia, nice to see you. And Sarah, always a pleasure. And Risa, hi, Risa, thank you. Jal, pleasure to see you. And B, of course, always lovely to see you. I am much slower at 4 minutes. Okay, so, everybody is different. Everybody knits differently. And hi, Lori, nice to see you too. So, I think it's a good exercise, as B said, to sort of see how quickly you knit. But remember that it depends on all kinds of things. Okay, so what I did is look at how long it takes me to knit worsted weight yarn in stockinette. Obviously, that's going to go much more quickly than worsted weight yarn in a complicated lace pattern, or something else that has maybe a lot of cables in it, where you're constantly stopping and picking up your cable needle and all those kinds of things. So there are a lot of factors. And as I said, it's not a contest or competition in any way, but simply a way to sort of see whether you realistically could finish whatever goals you have for your gift knitting. So I think that's kind of fun. So, hey, Gwen. So what I thought I would do is simply share my screen with you and show you some of what I think are fun gift projects for you that you still have time to do between now and Hanukkah or Christmas. Obviously, things that are very bulky and very small are going to go much more quickly than things that are worked on a very fine needle and that are large. All of the things that I'm going to show you tonight are relatively small and can be done in under 20 hours of knitting, and most of them in under 10 or 15. So, and when I give you the times, those are pretty generous estimates of how long it would take you to knit them. So let me get us set up and I will show you what we got. Okay, so in case you are interested, you can always go to my Ravelry profile. I'm Ellen and this is a bundle called Gift Knitting 2020. So we can just look at these sort of one at a time, and I can tell you why I like each one. So this is called Tilt, and this is a very cute little cowl. This is worked in Rowan cashmere tweed. So cashmere tweed is a fairly lightweight yarn. It's a DK weight, and you can see that it's 288 yards. I like this because it's cashmere tweed, but it's very reasonably priced. So you get a very luxurious kind of project that you can give to somebody and say, wow, it's made of cashmere. And when you feel it, you really, really do feel that cashmere in there. It's knit in the round on a size 5 needle, and it's not a boring knit. You can see that it's, it has some texture to it. And it's really attractive. And the cashmere tweed comes in really pretty colors. So there is that one. And then on that same page is this one, Heart Twist, which is knitted in the same yarn and the same yardage. So I think this is very cute. This is a hat. Again, it feels really, really nice. It's ribbed, worked on a size 5 needle. And I thought this would probably take 10 hours to knit. So 10 hours seems like a lot, but if you knit for just one evening, 1 hour every evening for, a week and a half, you got it, So there it is. And a lot of us knit for, way more than that. So this next one is an oldie but a goodie. This is the Irish hiking scarf arm warmers. And they take 200 yards of worsted weight yarn. And I think it would take just about, what did I say on here? Just about 5 hours to do this. They're worked on a size 8 needle. It's an easy cable pattern. If you've never worked cables before, this is a wonderful project to learn them on. This would be beautiful in Moonshine. It would also be beautiful in Rowan Kid Classic. So I think that's a really nice one to consider. This one, Thermos, is a little bit different. It's, again, 210 yards of a worsted weight. I like it because it's a little bit different. It just tucks into your collar like that, and then you can really get playful with the buttons. I think that's so cute when you can make something and then put a really pretty, playful, special button on there. I think it really just sort of, punches it up just a little bit. I think that's so nice. So that one, again, that would be about 5 hours of knitting. This is a very pretty one. This is a chunky, and let me see what I had said in here. Yeah, this would be about 10 hours of knitting. We're going to open that in another tab. So yeah, this is a very pretty one. It's a super bulky yarn. This would be lovely in a Noro. Wouldn't that be pretty to see the colors stripe in that? That would be beautiful in Noro Bachi, which is a super bulky yarn. You could also do it in Rowan Big Wool, and it would be very, very lovely. And I said that would be about 10 hours of knitting. This little number here, the Fisherman's Wife cowl. This is very similar to the Irish hiking arm warmer. It would take about the same amount of knitting time, and we can have a look at this one. Again, you can play with the buttons. This is worked in Rowan big wool, so it actually would go a little faster than the arm warmers. You've got 100 yards on a size 15. I think you could probably knock that out in 2 hours, even if you're not a very fast knitter. It's just 100 yards, big needles, and it's very nice and splashy with with the little trim at the edge and then some buttons, and you can do it in some really fun colors. That would be very nice last minute kind of gift to do. This one, actually, maybe many of you have already done. This is a free pattern, the Gaptastic Cowl. It's worked on a size 13 needle with a bulky yarn. You could use the same yarns. You could use Bocce, you could use big wool, you could use Rowan brushed fleece. This would be lovely also in Katya Merino Ultralight. So it is more knitting, but it would go quickly. I think this would probably take you 6 hours because it's 300 yards. But it's very cute and very stylish, and everybody loves it. Here is another picture of it. So this is really a large version. The one we have at the shop that Ginny did a couple years ago, she did half this wide, and it was still really, really nice. So if you started it and you got into a crunch and you couldn't finish it, you could just bind it off and it would still be absolutely fine. Don't you love that? And I think this is fun. This is called the Vita Cowl. This is worked in a bulky yarn. It takes 120 yards, and it would be just lovely in Mount Vernon Chistari, which is a bulky yarn. It also would be beautiful in Noro Swedo, which is their brand new wool tweed. So I think that would be just lovely. They've worked this on a size 15 needle because it's lace. You're getting a nice, you want a big needle so you can sort of open it up. You could absolutely work it on a smaller needle, but I kind of love this concept of how they've taken a lace pattern, which you typically think of as being kind of fine and delicate, and they've just made it very modern by using a bulky yarn. So I think that's really nice, and that's a fun knit if you are a little more experienced or an adventuresome beginner. Yeah, I like that one a lot. And then this is the Bandana Cowl. Many of you have probably knitted this. It was put out in 2011, I think. It takes a bulky yarn, 130 yards, and I estimated that would take about 3 hours. This is such a cute project. It fits around the neck, kind of, pointed in the front like a bandana, hence the name. And you get that effect using short rows. So if you haven't done short rows, this might be a fun way to practice them in a fairly low stakes environment. But isn't that cute? And you want a nice soft yarn that's going to be really pretty around your neck. So I would probably go with something like a brushed fleece, or let's see, the Merino Ultralight would be incredibly soft and lovely. And you could also do it in the Swedo if you wanted kind of a chunkier look. That's also very nice on a size 10 needle. And what did I say? That would take about 3 hours. So anybody have any favorites yet? Love to hear what you think. Let's see. Hi, Gwen. Hey, Anne. Risa likes the Fisherman's Wife cowl. Yeah, that's kind of fun, isn't it? And you get the double fun of picking out the buttons. I think buttons are so fun. And, you don't have to make a sweater to use buttons, but they really do kind of give you an extra little twist of things. So I'm going to jump down actually to some of the things that I definitely wanted to showcase here. These are all sort of reasonably priced gift things that you can knit up really quickly. We have also in the shop this little hat I wanted to showcase for you. Where is it that Ginny knit up? Oh, yes. Okay, here it is. So this is the Windsor Light hat. This is the one that Ginny knit up in Katya Merino Cotton Craft, which has a beautiful kind of self-striping, variegated look, and it is just adorable. And what we have is multicolored, the multicolored yarn. We have a bunch of different pom-poms. So this takes about a skein and a half of that yarn that I mentioned, the merino, cotton merino craft from Katya. But if you bought 3 skeins, you could make 2 hats, and then you would use all your yarn, and then you could pick 2 different pom-poms, and they would be really cute for 2 different little nieces or granddaughters or daughters or whomever you are knitting for. Actually, I think this is one of the ones that my son would like, because it does have some very cute colors, and the pom-poms are, you know, he's all about those pom-poms. So that's a fun one. And then I also wanted to showcase, you know, sometimes when you're doing a really nice present for somebody, you want it to be super luxurious. So I just wanted to talk for a minute about, where am I? Okay. About the Rowan Pure Cashmere. You know, you've heard me talk about that, and you heard the David McLeod from Rowan talk about how special that yarn is and how it's just the most beautiful yarn that comes out of Scotland. It's, you know, the only Scottish cashmere in the world, and how it's just so lovely because of the water from the loch and all that stuff. So it came in, and I'll tell you, it really is very, very beautiful. So I'm super happy about that. And sometimes you want a gift that's just so special, you know, for your mom, or you know, for a sister or some other really special person in your life, or just a friend that you know would really appreciate this little luxury. And I have some projects here that I want to share with you that are designed to make use of just 1 or 2 skeins of this beautiful, beautiful cashmere. So let me show you those now. All right, so the first one is this Glory Mitts. And these are worked with just 1 skein of the Rowan cashmere. And they are simple, simple to knit. They are just worked in stockinette. They're worked flat, and they're seamed. And that's how you get the little thumb hole. But you know, this is such a beautiful yarn that you want something that you're going to be feeling against your skin. And what better way to just feel that cashmere just all the time than to have these fingerless mitts that are right on your hands. You know, you can wear them all the time. I just think those are so wonderful, and they're so easy. Even a rank beginner can make these beautiful and luxurious mitts for somebody special in their life with just 1 skein of the Rowan Pure Cashmere. And I think you should probably treat yourself to some really, really nice yarn, because you are making gifts for other people. So I think that's kind of a nice thing to do. There is also this little cowl, which I will show you. This is called Delight, and it is also worked in the Rowan Pure Cashmere. This takes 2 skeins of the Rowan Pure Cashmere, so 300 yards. It would probably take you, let's see, probably 8 or 9 hours to knit this, maybe 10, depending. But it's a beautiful project. It has a lovely little stitch pattern in there that's interesting but not too hard. And again, you want that cashmere, you know, someplace where you're really going to feel how wonderfully soft it is. And this is just a lovely, lovely gift. It's almost an equal gift for yourself as you're knitting it when you're working with that cashmere. And I don't know if you remember hearing David talk about it, but the cashmere, as you knit it and then as you wash it and wear it again and again, it just gets nicer and nicer and nicer. So any of the projects that I show you that are worked in a DK weight or a sport weight, you could easily substitute this luxurious cashmere for it. last one that I wanted to show you. This is also a one skein project in the pure cashmere. And I think this is just so stylish. Risa, you did a couple headbands, didn't you? Those are very cute and I think very flattering. They certainly looked nice on you. So very pretty, very flattering, one skein, easy to do, worked in ribbing. Doesn't that look just so pretty? Antonella, you'll appreciate this young lady. She's Italian, and I think this was photographed in a beautiful place in Italy. Isn't she lovely? So it comes in a lot of really nice colors that are very flattering to the skin. So that would be another nice way to treat someone special on your list with one skein of cashmere. So let's see, Risa, everybody, we liking the button cowl. Yep. Gwen, I think you mean the headbands. Yes. Or do you mean the mitts? You might mean the mitts. You might mean both. And yep, Risa makes headbands for gifts. So that's fun. This is a nice one. This is from Rowan. This is 2 strands of merino aria held together on a size 15 needle. So this would go super quickly, probably about 3 hours. It's called Snood. And if you haven't been in the shop or you were not involved with the Rowan tasting kit, merino aria is just to die for beautiful. So, so pretty. So yeah, that takes 218 yards, but it's held together. So it's actually half of that. Fast, fast knit. Of course, we have these fabulous scarves in the Big Wool Brights. These are very fun. These take 2 skeins. That would probably take you on a size 15 needle. Very little time. You can kind of get a sense now of how long it might take you to knit a super bulky thing on a big needle, can't you? Again, we have another headband here. This would be really pretty in the Rowan cashmere. This is a free pattern. It would take just 1 skein. So if you wanted something that was a little more challenging than just the ribbed cashmere headband, you could do this. And it would also be really nice in that cashmere tweed if the Rowan pure cashmere is not quite in the budget for that particular recipient. Okay, what else I got? Oh, these are fun and different. I want to share these with you. These are called Woodland Loafers. And let's see what I said about that. Nothing. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Okay, so these are cute and these are very different. They take under 200 yards of a chunky. These would be fabulous in the Chistari Mount Vernon, which is a chunky washable merino, hand dyed. Very, very fun. Wouldn't these be a great gift for someone on your list? You could do them in pink for a gal, or, you know, you could do them in charcoal for a gentleman. I think that would be super fun. That would take just 1 skein of the Chistari Mount Vernon merino. Isn't that great? I love those. I think that is so much fun. Okay, what else we got? Okay, I like this one. This is a fun hat. You've got some little bit of stranding in it, and it is written for 4 different gauges. So this would be super fun to do in the Katia Cotton Merino Craft and Cotton Merino. You could do it in a Noro and Moonshine. You could do it in Alegria Grande. That would be just beautiful. Very, very fun. And again, a fun pom-pom. Depending on the yarn that you use and the size that you make, it's going to take 130 yards. So again, you're looking at about 5 hours. So fun and doable and so, so cute. There are a lot of patterns. We've done a lot of hats, and you can, like I said, you can come back to this bundle under my profile and see all of them. But there are 2 really pretty shawls that I wanted to share with you. This is by Melanie Mellinger. I thought maybe this was Lisa Hannes, but I think this is really cute. This is an Aran weight. This would be really pretty in the Wool Addicts Faith. Very lovely, very squishy, kind of silky yarn. And this has some lace and some cables. If you wanted to do this one, even though it's on a big needle, it still has quite a bit of yardage. It would probably take you close to 20 hours. So you would want to get started on this if you wanted to give this as a gift. And you would have to say, give yourself 1 hour each night for the next, say, 3 weeks. Then you could bang that one out. And I've talked a lot about things for ladies. Let me show you a couple hats that I thought were really cute for guys. If you have a guy on your list, where is that one that I thought? Oh, here's another little thing. This is kind of a very fun, tiny little gift that you could do for somebody. It's just a little soap sack. You could get a skein of hand knit cotton or modern cotton or any of the cottons that we have in the shop. Buy a bar of handmade soap. If you know Keisha Butler, she makes beautiful handmade soap. If you work with Christina Allen at all, she might have some handmade soap. There are always lovely handmade soaps at all of your craft fairs and such. And you could just make this little soap sack and give a skein, a little sack and a bar of hand knit soap to somebody special. And I think that would be very nice. You could knit this up in an hour. It would be really not any bigger than making a swatch, but a thoughtful gift, I think. Looking for the guy thing. This is a very cute guy appropriate hat, or, unisex. So you can see this is worked just in a worsted weight yarn, and it's great for whomever, guys, women, kids, whatever. It's called the Antler Hat. It is by Tin Can Knits, who write really good patterns. Very nicely written, easy to follow. They work. So that's a free pattern, actually, and that would be cute in, again, in Moonshine, be cute in the Rowan Kid Classic. Any worsted weight would be cute in vintage, Barocco vintage you could use. That would be nice. Let's see. Do you still have the big? Yes. Okay. We do have the Big Wool Brights. Mary, thank you, Mary, answered. I just reordered those. So we have a whole big stack of those and plenty of big wool. What is Jal doing? I'm working on the, Empower. Yes. Okay. Good. I would love to see. So let's talk about that. Jill is making the Empower bandana, which is a very cute, sort of similar to the bandana cowl. This is a lovely one, and it's, it's an activism project. So that feels nice too. It's free, and it's very quick to do. DK weight, 225 yards. It's going to probably take you 7 hours. How many hours do you have in, Jal, and how close are you to being done? So that's a really pretty one. And this is super easy. It's just, isn't this one in garter? This is in garter stitch. So that's a nice one. And then there's another one here, which is similar by Romy Hill. And this one has a lace pattern in it. Also very nice. Same gauge. This is probably going to take a little bit longer because you would have to focus on that lace. So remember that every time you add a fineness factor or a little bit of concentration factor, it's going to increase the time that it's going to take you. But if you're really comfortable with lace, this is a beautiful project also. What else? Okie doke. Cabled hats. These are all cabled. This is a fun, quick, super bulky hat. If you have some Corian Air lying around or some Malabrigo Rasta, that's fun. Or you could do it in big wool. I'm a big wool fan. I love that. It would also be stunning in Noro Bachi. I think that would be just perfect because Noro. What else? Okay, this is a pretty one. This is 320 yards. This is in a jumbo yarn. This would be it's on a size 11 needle though. So this would be, I love the way it's fluffy. This would be perfect in the Katia Ultralight merino or merino ultralight. Melanie Berg is a wonderful designer. Her patterns are good. They're well written. They're easy to follow. This is complicated looking lace, but it's not actually so complicated. You could also do this in brushed fleece, and it would be stunning. I think with a shawl that's made of a bulky yarn, to avoid it being too heavy, you do want something kind of brushed or light. This would be very pretty in Wool Addicts Air, also on a size 11 needle. That would be very nice, but you want something that is going to feel light. Does that make sense? All right, we are out of time, but yeah, so have a look at this bundle. Come by the shop. Let us know who you're knitting for and what you would like to knit, and we will hook you up and get you started on a fun and easy project and help you figure out how long it would take and budget your time. So I thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's been fun sharing some knitted gifts with you. I hope that you have a million more knit-worthy people in your life than you have time for. And if that is the case, don't forget that first Friday in November, we are having our sample sale. So if you have a lot of knit-worthy people in your life, more than you have time to knit for, don't feel bad about coming by and getting something that we have lovingly hand knit and give that to somebody who deserves a beautiful hand knit project. So thanks again for joining me, and I will see you next time. Have a great evening.